Hey guys, yo, what's up, and welcome to Jump Inside Games. We're doing a series review, and we're going to do the Doctor Who Children in Need special, because I absolutely loved watching this. Anyway, just a quick warning, this does contain spoilers, so if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it now, then come back to this video later. Anyway, let's get started. So, one thing that you may recognize straight away is that Davros comes straight in, and he's not in his mobility Dalek thing. This is because it's way back, it's very, very early times. I do think that we'll see it again, but I don't think we're going to see it for this particular special because it's Children in Need, and there are some things about it not representing disabilities. So that's why he's walking in the majority of this. Also, he's also wearing a particular uniform in this, which matches up with Genesis of the Daleks. So these are two factors already that are established for us. If you don't recognize this uniform, this is what the uniform looks like in the episode. It matches up perfectly with the actual 4th Doctor series, Genesis of the Daleks, which we'll be referencing a bit in this video. This is not the only time that we've seen Davros look like a human. In the Peter Capaldi era, we've also seen Davros at a much younger age. So we do now realize that Davros grew up in a body formation before being turned into a wheelchair, which we'll know in the future. In this episode, we come to know this particular Dalek as the Mark III travel machine because it hasn't been given the name Dalek yet, which, to be fair, makes sense. As you can see on the Dalek, it hasn't got those modern stalks coming from the top of its head, which means it is pretty much the same style of Daleks that they used back then in the 4th Doctor's era. The only difference between then and now is the claw that it has on the side, which we'll get to a bit later. But what I'm trying to say is that the Dalek that's mentioned in Genesis of the Dalek is also called the Mark III travel machine, which links both of those Daleks up to, is this the same Dalek? So as we know right now, the TARDIS is crashing through the roof and it's landing on the planet inside this room, the planet that we know as Skaro. He comes out of the TARDIS, but the one thing that I want to pick up on right here is this comes straight out from Liberation of the Daleks comic. So if you aren't fully aware, at the beginning of that comic was when he completed his regeneration, and at the end of the comic is when he came through to land on Skaro. So that joins up the comic, which is a nice in-between segment. He also mentions as he comes out the TARDIS is, "I was this brilliant woman 60 minutes ago," which emphasizes the fact that the comic is canon. The comic did happen, and it was the in-between state between then and now, which makes everything in the comic very relevant to the universe that we know of. Then the funny part happens is the Doctor actually starts referencing them even though they haven't been created properly yet. He calls it a Dalek, and this person starts writing down notes about what the Doctor has just said, emphasizing that the Doctor came up with the word Dalek for their race, and he also came up with the word exterminate is what they're going to use when they start attacking people. The Doctor came up with this. It's a very funny loop around, and it also kind of prequels the next episode in the 60th anniversary. It also completes the comic and connects that up with the Jodie Whittaker stuff, and it also connects to the 4th Doctor story from way back then in Genesis of Dalek. Everything kind of connects through this mini episode. I absolutely love this. When the Doctor literally says the timelines and the canons are rupturing, it's because there's so many different connections to this particular point from the comic, from the previous episode, from the next episode, and from the 4th Doctor's episode in Genesis of the Daleks. They're all kind of connected to this little mini episode, which makes this jam-packed, filled with Easter eggs. I absolutely love this. And finally, just before the episode ends, the Doctor gives him the plunger that when Davros comes back through the room, he says he likes, which is really cool because this kind of gives emphasis that the Doctor came up with the plunger idea. So the Doctor kind of invented the way the Daleks look and feel for the majority. So yeah, that is just a really cool way of bringing all those stories connected to each other. Yes, I know this particular part of the story isn't really going to have any impact on, for example, the next Doctor Who episode, but it is something that we all absolutely love. It's lovely, it's quick, it's simple, it's funny, and it's just really good. I absolutely loved it. So for my personal review of this, I think this definitely gets a 10 out of 10 for comedy and all that kind of stuff, and you know what, I generally love it. It's a mini episode. You can't really go wrong if things are that good with this episode. I can't wait to see what the next 3 episodes in the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who are like. I'm really excited for that. And of course, if you haven't seen this particular video, links are in the description, so do go check that out. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on another Jump Inside video. Thanks and goodbye.